Welcome everyone. In this video I'm going to show you my hobby room or workshop. So some weeks ago I created a poll on my YouTube channel and I was asking for ideas what to do as a 10,000 subscribers special, and the voting resulted in this result that you can see on the screen. So what we see here is that the most popular choice was to do a tour in my workshop. So that's what we will do today. And since we reached the 10,000 subscribers just 2 days ago, now I'm making this video and I'm showing you what I'm working with or what is in my hobby room. So first of all, thank you for supporting my channel, supporting my work, and following my journey about building whatever I find interesting or whatever I find worth to build or discover. So as you can see, my room is dedicated to my hobby, and on the right side I have more the electronics part and all the assembly part, and on the left side a little bit of my other hobby. I really like biking, so that's why I have a mountain bike, kind of a special one, and a road bike as well. And then next to the bikes you see two 3D printers, a Tivo Tarantula and an Ender Max. I will show them from closer perspective. And then I have some other gadgets as well, but I will show everything. So first of all, let's move to my desk and let's see what is located there. So this is my desk, a quick overview, and then I will show some of my favorite or more used tools from a closer perspective. So you can see that I have some shelves and I also have some kind of hanging board on the left side. So on the left side basically I make most of the videos and assembly, and then on the right side I usually just store all the garbage and put the parts there temporarily. And this is actually a new setup, or actually the whole room is new. I will show you the old desk and everything, but now I have a much larger surface than previously because I moved places. So then this is basically a brand new lab which I made after moving. But I have some power supplies here, as you can see, and I will show you them a bit closer and talk about them. I have now two oscilloscopes. I recently purchased the 4-channel oscilloscope, which will be very useful for future projects. A function generator, a few multimeters I also have, and then soldering stations, of course. I have one like standalone soldering station and also a soldering iron TS100. And then, of course, a fume extractor and some other tools. But let's take a closer look at the desk and let's see what we have. So here you can see the contents of the shelves. So this one is just a normal power supply. It can output 0 to 30 volts and maximum 20 amps. It has some connectors in the front, but it also has some connector in the back panel, and that is used for currents larger than 10 amps. So whenever I have something with high current consumption, for example projects with Peltier coolers and similar things, then I use this power supply or my other DIY power supply with that extra chunky cable. And then I have the other power supply here. It's a bit weaker. It can output the same voltage, 0 to 30 volts, but it can only output 10 amps to the max. But I used it most oftenly or most frequently, and it's basically my go-to power supply whenever I need something quickly. And then here I have a function generator. I just use it whenever I need some functions to be generated, sinusoidal function or a square wave to, for example, drive a stepper motor driver and so on. And then I really like this tool here, and this is just a multifunction tester. You can use it for testing transistors, capacitors, resistors, whatever. And I made a small modification on this. At the bottom I made a new bottom panel with a switch, because I discovered that it draws the battery very quickly if you just let it turn off automatically. So then I added this switch, so I can just turn this on and off using this switch. But seems like now I left it on the on state, so it drew the battery, so it's not turning on. But yeah, it's supposed to work. And then this is my new toy. It's a 4-channel Siglent oscilloscope. I haven't really tested it too much because it's really a brand new stuff. So I just bought it and just turned it on if it works or not. But I have projects for it, so don't worry, it will be visible in my future videos. And then up here you saw this oscilloscope, or the results measured with this oscilloscope quite often. It's a 2-channel oscilloscope. They are basically siblings, so it's this is a bit older version and a bit worse in bandwidth and stuff, but they come from the same branch. And then I have some boxes for cables, and then all the soldering stuff is here, so you can find everything in a transparent box. I find it very convenient. And of course, simple multimeter, and a bit better multimeter, Uni-T UT61E. It's quite nice. I really like it because it has enough digits and it has good functions. So I really like to use it. And then actually this is the camera which I use mostly to record my stuff. It's just an action camera. It's good enough. And then whenever you see a close-up shot, then I use this guy here. It's very old. I think I bought this like 6 or 7 years ago. Sony Alpha 6000 with this 7 Artisans 60mm macro lens. So yeah, I use this. It's good. It works. Why bother with other things? But of course it would be nice to have a 4K camera, but everything comes step by step. Vacuum cleaner, of course, just to clean up stuff. And then I have some stuff here on the right side, so I move the camera there and I just show you what is there. So here I just have this dial with some arm, and then it has a magnetic mechanism. This piece of steel is not magnetic, so I cannot show how it's used, but yeah, it just rotates a magnet inside, and then it can stick to magnetic surfaces. And then of course I have this microscope camera with a display, and then this is my 3D printed holder. So as you can see, here is the camera shoe or adapter, which goes into a tripod, and then it just goes and connects to this 3D printed plastic part using GoPro mount. So this, I use it sometimes, but I'm not 100% satisfied with the quality, so I don't use it very often. I would rather use my mirrorless camera. This guy here, it has much better quality, obviously, because it has better optics and better sensor. And then this box is one of my most important box, because it has all my microcontrollers. So wherever I open a drawer, I know this is full of TNZs 4.0, and then yeah, some breakout boards for Arduinos, and then 80 Tiny, and then some boards for it. Then here I have some wireless ESP32 modules. I even bought the Raspberry Pi W, but I haven't yet started discovering it, but it's here, so whenever I have time I can play with it. And then here I have some more fancier stuff. This is a 2-channel AD converter. I don't exactly remember the parameters, but it has very high speed. I think it's about 20 megahertz or something. So it's not a simple microcontroller, which is this board, but it's an FPGA. And then this is also similar. 8-bit resolution only, but 133 megahertz sampling rate. And then another FPGA as well. And I would say that this piece is a historical piece because I used this to write my bachelor's thesis in nuclear physics. So it's I want to keep this as long as it's possible because yeah, it allowed me to measure cool stuff. And yeah, I have many more things I could talk about this. It's full of Arduino Nanos and so on and so on. And basically that's all. So let's move to a bit more interesting part of this table or desk, so we can see what else I have. So we are here at the assembly part. So as I said, I have two different soldering irons. So I have this KSGR T12, and I mentioned to one of the commenters or viewers that I have replaced the handle, and this is the new handle for the soldering iron. It's very easy to remove the tip and then replace it with something else. I actually bought the whole kit. I will try to find it and show it. Here. So I have all the different tips. It was discounted on AliExpress or Banggood, I don't exactly remember, so I bought the whole set. And I can solder for probably until the end of my life, because it's quite sturdy. So it can survive quite long soldering sessions. And then the other soldering iron is this guy here, the TS100. So I've been using this for like 5 years or so. So it's very nice. And I have this dedicated power supply, which I built in another video, and with a heat-proof cable. So I can use this for the soldering iron. And on this wall I have this small place for it. So I can just place it there, and it's nice. And I have like a third piece of, let's call it soldering equipment, which is a hot air gun. This guy here is just a normal hot air gun. I have other nozzles for it, but I just use it with this kind of nozzle. It's good enough. I can use the control panel right here and change the temperature and the airflow. So then it's very convenient to use. Then let's move to these boxes. So I have the most commonly used things here, so I can just lean forward, reach out for it, and then use it. So I have a handheld oscilloscope here. It was actually in a DIY kit, so I had to assemble it, but yeah, it's not a big deal. And I bought a USB 9-volt battery with it. You can see the charging port there. So it's very handy if I just want to use it for something quick. And then some super glue, Kapton tape, lighter, then some cotton pads to clean things, a blower, sandpaper, so on, heat shrink tubes. And then I have some pliers here, either for grabbing things or just cutting things. Yeah, for different purposes, of course. And then some clips to fix stuff. I have a lot of accessories and bits for yeah, screwdriver. And then I have the screwdriver just at hand, so I can just change the bits and work. You can see that we have the fume extractor, and then I also have some soldering related stuff. And I want to show you something really smart, which I really like. I found this on AliExpress. So actually you can buy these nice tools with, it's just basically an arm or lever, and yeah, it's basically a bolt. And then you can turn this bolt, and then you can make it push the rubber piece here, which pushes out the soldering paste. And then you can just squeeze this and dose the soldering paste in a very careful way. I really like this because it's a cheap but very smart stuff. So I really like this. And then I also really like this thing. It's just a holder, but then I can place the solder material easily anywhere. So it's very useful. Then I have some USB charger, which I just use as a power supply for different USB cables. And then I have the old and the new version of this Omnifixo third arm. So I have a third and the fourth arm as well, because I have 2 of these. So this is the old one. You can see the difference in clips. New one and the old one. And it's a very nice thing. It's very, very useful. So I really like to use them. And then you can see this thing here, which is a ball head. And this is what I use for either the camera, which is overhead, so it's sitting somewhere here and watching down, or I use it for the microscope, or whatever I can fix to this, and then I can use it for recording whatever I'm doing here and so on. And I have some other pliers and some other tools like saw, hammer, and cable stripper, like this guy here. It's a very handy tool, but I also have a more simplistic cable stripper, this guy here. It does the purpose. And then I have a bunch of stuff which I will show you now. It's a quite nice wall, I would say. So here you can see the wall. I have 7 boxes in total, 4 bigger boxes and 3 smaller boxes, and they are basically just holding all the parts I have. So you can see that some of these have tags, because it made sense to tag them, because despite the fact that these boxes are transparent, sometimes it's not easy to see what is inside them. So wherever I want it, I just tag them up, but sometimes it's just too obvious, like this. You cannot see any label, but then it's just jumper pins and headers, so I know what is inside them. Or this one is also quite obvious that it's just screw terminals everywhere. So I really like these things. I bought it in the local hardware store, and it's relatively cheap, but then it makes my life much easier, because I know that if I reach out to somewhere here, I can grab Kelvin clips. There you go. And then I see that, okay, this is a Kelvin clip drawer. Or if I want to have some knobs, then I know that it's inside here. And then it's well organized, so I can reach my tools very easily. And it's just on the left-hand side of the desk. So I can sit at the desk and then just lean over and grab whatever I want. I don't even have to get up. Maybe that's not true for those boxes because it's in the corner, but most of the things is within the reach. And it's, I think, well organized, so I can have everything I want. And you can see that there is some light around it. I can try to turn it off just to see, but that was just an extra decoration for my own entertainment. So lights are off, as you can see, and then lights are on again. So this is how it looks. I will not show all the things I have. If you have a specific question, just leave a comment and I will answer it. So then let's move to the other side of the room and let's see what's there. So this is the other corner. As I said, I like biking, so I have some two bikes, a mountain bike, and then behind it there is a road bike. I will not bore you with the facts. It's a titanium frame with titanium parts mostly, and then the road bike is just a normal commercial, but this one here is a custom bike. But what is more interesting is here. So I have 2 3D printers. This is the TiVo Tarantula, and then over there is the Ender 3 Max. And then you can see a box in between them, and maybe I should move closer so you can see what's there. So that's the box. So the purpose of that box is it can dry the filament for the printers. And I have the filaments inside for both printers, so left side goes there, right side goes there, but it has a big flow, which I will fix soon. So how it works is that under the filament holder reels there is like 2 shafts or 2 rods which allow the reels to rotate, but they don't. The reels cannot rotate independently. So if I just print with one printer, or if I print with both of them but at different speeds obviously, then one reel will rotate the other reel as well. So then it will kind of push the filament off from one of the reels. So let's say I print on the left-hand side printer, then as the extruder drags out the filament, then the right-hand side reel will keep rotating with it, and that will cause a big mess inside this box. But I already have a solution, I just have to implement it. So that's what I have. This is actually a quite renewed or upgraded printer. I will show you from a closer perspective. So what you can see here is that it has metal parts. So whatever holds the hot end, whatever holds the gantry here, and whatever connects the corner pieces, those are all water jet cut aluminum pieces. I bought it from a Dutch guy. He specifically made this kit for these printers, and I thought I should buy it because it's a very nice kit and it makes the printer more stable, because previously all these parts were made out of some acrylic piece. And then under this belt you can see that the x-axis is moving along this linear rail or linear bearing, so it's a very stable construction. But the printer itself, it's quite old, but it prints well if everything is prepared well. And then here is the box. There's nothing to tell about it, just heats up the filament, and it keeps the humidity low. And then this is the big boy printer, so the Ender 3 Max. It's really good. You just set it up once and then it works. It just works. So it's very easy to work with it. Here you can see a BL Touch, if you recognize what that is. It's upside down, obviously. So what happened, I tried to install it, of course in the correct direction, so it was facing downwards, and I played around with all the settings, the firmware and so on, but I could never make it work. So then I just took the time and manually made the hot plate or heating surface level, and after I leveled everything, it worked perfectly. But this BL Touch, for some reason, it doesn't work. So then this is the printing station, and I just move a step back just to show you the table. So the table here, or the desk, this was my old desk, so it's a not too big thing, but whenever you saw a video, let's say anything from 2 months ago or 3 months ago, that was made on this table, or on half of this table. So you can see it's roughly 120 wide, I think, or even less. Not a big surface, but yeah, you have to start somewhere. And also this lamp up here, this was my old lamp. It's just a simple diffusion light, as you can see, or softbox light. Nothing particular about it. And then you can see that thing on the wall, and I will show you what that is. So this thing is actually a stencil with a framework. When I first started to design my own ADS-1256 circuit, I accidentally ordered the stencil with a framework, and this is the framework. So it's a very big frame around the actually small footprint of the stencil. And then I said that if this circuit works, I will order another stencil and I will put this up on the wall as a frame. So this is like a memory for my, let's say, first circuit which I find worthy. Of course, I made other circuits before, but I think this is one of my, I don't know, signature work. So this is the first prototype of the PCB itself, and then behind it, it's the corresponding stencil. So I kept my promise and I put it on the wall. So let's just move back to my desk a little bit. So you can see that gorgeous background with those nice flowers. I will of course replace the wallpaper, but yeah, I just recently moved into this room, so yeah, I need some time. to organize the things. And then on the top shelf I still have some things. Most of them are in transparent boxes. So they are either tools or they are parts for my projects which I'm currently working on. So I have a lot of boxes up there with the TCD 1304 CCD because I will have a new video with it very soon, and I'm still working on some other things. And then I also have some wires there, screwdrivers for smaller things, and then I also have some other tools. Maybe I want to show you one cable because I find that very useful. So one of these things is this ProbeMaster kit. I have a dedicated video for this. I really like this cable. It's very good for multimeters, and it has a very sharp golden plated tip, so it's very easy to measure stuff with it. And then other things is just some garbage. Not garbage, of course, but some random stuff. Like here, I have like displays, and then potentiometers, and then a power meter module, and then a lot of Zener diodes. And then here you can recognize buck converters or power supplies, stepper motor drivers, another power supplies or buck converters, and then MOSFET modules, and so on. So I have a lot of small things here and there. But yeah, whatever happens is mainly happening in this corner somewhere. I make most of the videos there. And you can see that now I have a new light. So my previous light was, which I showed when I showed you the 3D printer. So I used that for like, since the beginning. And then recently, like 2 months ago, I replaced it. And now I have this LED light, and I find it very useful, and it was discounted. So I grabbed it for a very good price. And then of course I have other things here and there, more tools, more equipment, but I don't want to bore you with that. I think the most important thing is anyway laid out here on these shelves, or there, or somewhere on the, let's say, working surface. So this is my workshop. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting my work. If you are interested about something more specific, maybe somewhere you saw something which you are curious about, please ask in the comments. Or if you want me to show something specific, I can take a picture and then upload it to the community page. Then just ask it and I will try to answer it. And if you want to help me to grow this lab furthermore, I still have some things to purchase, then please consider becoming my supporter on Patreon. Link is in the description. It helps me a lot. Or just whenever you buy something from AliExpress, buy it using my affiliate links, and then I can get some compensation for it. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it was interesting to you, and see you in the next video.